getting kind of hard to get people to watch the channel. We've been trying so hard, but we can't get people to watch. And now I'm singing a song to try to say, look at this fatty. He is singing at the beginning of this video and he can't even rhyme. And if I see you showing this to your butt... No, I'm kidding. Hi, and welcome to a Seen by Few special, our Valentine's Day episode.
Yes.
And if you can't tell what we're watching...
It's maybe they're listening to us, not. And they're such loyal fans, they just click on the video without even looking at the title.
Oh my goodness. That'd just be fantastic. I'm shaking my head no if you're just listening. Thank you for joining us. We felt like we should get something out there for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and we were reading through just like, which, Google, like, some Valentine's Day movies, just like, start going through. Forgetting Sarah Marshall was up there, and like, what about Forgetting Sarah Marshall? I'm like,
hell yeah.
I'm like, yes, we will do that one.
Yeah, if that movie's not about love, I don't know what is.
Yes.
So
It's kind of about love.
it's a lot about love. Like that's the whole thing. Vampire love, Jack McBrayer awkward love, the love of every kind of fish. Like it's all there.
So this is a movie that I have. Is it one that you had to find on streaming somewhere?
I did. No, it was on a buddy of mine's Plex server.
Did you get the unrated version where he goes full peen?
I did.
All right.
Full peen twice.
Yes, twice.
So, and that was the other thing, is that I think there were bits that were cut out of the original one that I'd watched, because I remembered they had wiener in the one that I had watched, but then what I had watched for this had scenes that I did not remember in the original viewing.
Okay. I have only ever seen this version of the movie before.
Okay.
One that my brother bought on DVD or something like that, I think, and we kind of sat down and watched. I feel like around the time we were watching How I Met Your Mother, so I liked Jason Segel, and then we watched this movie, and I was kind of like, all right, well, there we go, Jason Segel in a starring role.
And little Jason Segel in a starring role. Or should I say big?
But not so little Jason Segel.
Yeah. I mean, if that man can't helicopter, I don't know who can.
I don't think he wasn't doing the helicopter.
He wasn't.
He was doing the side to side.
He was doing the
whip and nay.
Yeah, he was doing the whip. Or
I guess the sprinkler.
The Spider-Man. But yeah, if you could think of a better Valentine's Day movie, put it down in the comments. Maybe we'll review it next year.
Yes, because Valentine's Day is about love, but it's also about breaking up right on the 13th.
The loss of love as well. Yes.
Yeah, so you don't have to. It's like, I could take someone on a Valentine's Day dinner, but that's going to be expensive. So before we do that, let's just break up.
Let's get back together on the 15th. Yeah, flowers are expensive, yo. So has that ever happened to anybody out there? If so, please leave it down in the comments. I'd love to read that.
Break up for just the duration.
Just for that day.
Just for the duration of Valentine's Day.
So I don't have to buy a $10 Valentine's Day card. Hallmark, you fucking shysters. But yeah, so the way this normally rolls is we are going to rate it 0 to 10. 0 being, oh my God, why in heaven did anybody put this on film? And 10 being, not quite cats, still pretty good. Actually, very good. And 5 being, maybe.
Yeah, that's it. 5 is fine. I'm never upset to watch a 5.
Yeah, I'm not out anything, but I also didn't get anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So now that you have it, after we do that rating, we're going to try and guess each other's numbers of what we thought, where it fell in the spectrum. Then after that, we're going to go into spoilers.
Yes. So if you've never seen it, track it down.
Yeah.
Which I didn't pull it up to see if it was streaming anywhere, because this is an instance in which I didn't have to try to find it.
Oh, well, yeah, no, it was a home run for you. As soon as you were forgetting Sarah Marshall, I was like, I'll have to see where I could find it. And you're like, I've got the DVD. So
it looks like it would have to be rented, because I don't see it streaming anywhere.
It's a good movie.
Yes, it's worth a $4 rent or whatever.
If you rent it and you don't like it, if you could find me, I'll give you $4.
It also is a certain sense of humor that maybe not everyone has. So it's plausible. People that if you're looking for a good romantic comedy, it's not really this.
Well, my guarantee also expires on March 1st, 2024. So
2023 last year. It's been expired.
Oh shit.
We're pulling it out of the shelf, being like, should we throw this guarantee up there?
That's brilliant. I should have you there for all my decisions, financial and otherwise. All right, so Nick,
Yes.
if you had to give this movie a rating from 0 to 10, and you do, because that's what we do.
Yeah, it's financially or contractually obligated.
What would you give it?
I think I'm going to go with an 8. It could be higher, maybe, because this is one I come back to a lot, but at the same time, it's probably like at about an 8-ish. An 8-ish level of enjoyment for this movie.
Okay. All right. Well,
How about you?
I would also give this movie an 8.
Look at that.
Boom. Love's in the air. We're guessing each other's numbers. Yeah, this movie is just, it's fun. It's got a lot of dumb laughs,
Yeah.
but it's got a lot of fun laughs too. Like, I don't like Russell Brand.
Me neither, but he's good in this.
He's fantastic in this.
And this is also the first thing I think I've ever seen him in.
I think so too. Like, he plays Aldous Snow in this, and he also plays Aldous Snow in like Get Him to the Greek.
Yeah.
So I
Which
guess
it's supposed to be in this universe.
yeah, he's still, it's in the same thing.
And whereas that movie I did not really like.
I watched it one time and I could not tell you what was going on.
It's I didn't care for that one as much.
Jonah Hill was trying to get him somewhere.
To the Greek, which was a theater. He was trying to get him to a show on time or whatever.
Yes, sure.
That's why it's called Get Into the Greek.
Yeah, it's right there in the title. It was a layup, and I fucked it up.
And it had like Puff Daddy in it as like, I think Jonah Hill's boss, and he's like, I need you to watch this guy and get him there on time because he's going off Hinge or whatever.
Didn't it have something about rubbing the carpet too? Like they were all freaking out, and it was just like rub the carpeted walls. I remember that part. I think that was the only part that like actually made me laugh.
Maybe. I mean, it wasn't a bad movie per se. I just didn't care for it as much.
Who directed this?
I know it's got knocked up in 40-Year-Old Virgin, but is it actually that guy that directed
Apatow?
And it's an Apatow production, but I don't know if it's actually an Apatow direction.
Yeah, my eyes suck, and there's not a lot of light in here, so I'm not sure.
Hand of the DVD box to me. Presents an Apatow production. All the people, let's see, written by, produced by Apatow, executive director of photography, editor, music. But you're not going to give me the director right there on the box? That's very... Oh, there it is. Directed by Nicholas Stoller. Written by Siegel.
I did know that.
I wasn't sure if I knew that one.
Yeah, I did know that Jason Segel had writing credits in this one.
He's, at least according to the back of the box, he is the writer. I don't know if he's got writing other people on there with him for credit. We'd have to look at IMDb, and I don't want to accidentally look at the score.
No. Well, shit, I left my phone over there, so you might have to do the
Oh,
scores.
well, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because I also wanted you to get our Hawaiian names up. That's the reason I sent that to you.
Oh, I didn't. You said that to me like I looked at it like early in the morning. You're like, your Hawaiian names would be this and this, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And then like later in the day, I'm like, oh yeah, I just watched that movie.
Yeah.
It makes sense that he's given me the Hawaiian names.
Well, just for the fact that, like, he's like, my name's Kunu.
Yeah.
And he's like, Kunu, cool name. He's like, actually, your name's Chuck. I just looked at a Hawaiian name or generator on the internet. And I was like, is that a real thing? And sure enough, it is.
That's what I did for my Chinese name when I was taking a class of Mandarin.
Really?
Yeah, Shi Ning Shi.
What is it?
Shi Ning Shi.
Sure, Ning, sure?
Shi Ning Shi.
Sure, Ning, sure.
Our Hawaiian names are Lana K and Nicola.
Lanake?
Lana K
Lanake.
and Nicola.
Nicolo. It seems lazy.
There. But it's closer than Ning Shi for my name.
Yeah, that's a good point. We're probably not going to talk too terribly much about this movie just for the fact that it's comedy.
Yeah, like.
And it's not funny if we just tell you the comedic beats.
And then he said this, and then he said that's not.
And it was so funny. Yeah, it's comedies are kind of hard to review.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel dumb for what I picked for Have You Seen, because
they just tend to be shorter videos.
Yeah, but like Jack McBrayer, I thought was funny in this movie.
Generally hit or miss on him, but he was okay in this one because his presence was not overbearing, I guess.
Well, I just like some of the things he said. God, if God wanted to put a playground next to a sewer system or something like
Yeah.
that, like I thought that part was funny, but like him slapping himself in the fucking head, I was like, okay, that's a bit.
Yeah,
That's a little over the top.
yeah. But for the small bit part he had, he was funny enough. I generally liked like the bartender was more fun to me. I think.
Oh yeah. Why does anybody want to go watch? What was it? Fish have sex or whatever? They could mate for 4 hours, and then they're like, "No, we're good." And he's like, "Why doesn't anybody want to hang out with me and go watch?" Yeah, that shit was hilarious. But I tried to remember the line with "Nuka nuka hookah hookah pua pua" or something like that. Yeah, bitch, what? When we
Yeah.
the official Hawaiian fish.
If you said it before you said it, if you asked me before you said it, I might have been able to say it.
Nuka nuka.
Nuku nuku apua. No, it's hunu hunu nuku nuku apuaha.
Yeah, bitch. I don't know. But I just thought it was funny how he belted that out and then he just started like
Yeah.
Bubba Gumping that shit.
Because it's the fish it's the name of the fish who's longer than the actual fish itself.
Oh.
It's like a little minnow.
And that's the official fish? The fuck?
Something I've known since like Tim told me like decades ago.
Oh. Okay. Do you like? Nuka nuka hookah, whatever.
That's again. You start saying it wrong and it makes
I'm sorry.
it fucks me up.
I'm sorry.
Hunu hunu nuku nuku apuaha.
Apuaha. That's a hell of a name. Damn. And with a name like that, you'd expect it to be like
That's an amazing
super
fish.
big, fucking like
A fucking mahi mahi
evil
or
looking
whatever.
fucking haka face or something. Like it's a minnow.
But he was fun. I like the luau guy or whatever, where he's like
Are those sad tissues
or happy.
or happy tissues? Yeah, that guy was good. You sound like a baby. You look like a baby. I'm sorry, I said that when I was mad. Yeah, but like that smash cut where he's like, you need to go out and like get your mind off things. Here, I'm gonna get this pig ready for a luau. You come with me.
You're going for it. It's like I don't know if come on, man. It's like okay.
You'll have fun. And then it smash cuts to him. I'm sorry.
Him whipping the pig is actually slaughtering it.
Yeah, and I thought that shit was hilarious. Are you crying? No, you're crying. That shit was hilarious. One of my favorite parts of the movie, though, and it's like a small part, was when Russell Brand's character gets the coral in the leg,
Oh yeah.
and he's like, "That's really in there," and he's like, "Just get it out, please, Peter." And then like he's smiling because he's like taking a little bit of pleasure that this guy's in pain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that was like after he told him like we were sleeping with her at the same time. It's like, dude, you can't just say that.
well, he was like, "How long have you been with her?" And he's like, "Oh, we were together for 5 years." And he's like, "Oh, you got a year on me, mate." And he's like, "You were sleeping with her for 4 years while I was with her? That's not fucking cool, man. Get away from me. You go over there." But yeah, that's fucked up. Especially like when he was like, "You're leaving me," and she's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Oh, well, I mean, you know." It's not like you tried. And she's like, "Oh, I've tried." And she goes in that whole fucking diatribe about how she's been true, and you find out she's been fucking him for 4 years.
Yeah.
That's
I think it's one. Is it 1 year? Or it's. I don't think it's quite that long, but it is. It is a long fucking time.
no, he was with her for a year. No, I think he was with her for a while.
Oh, see, I thought he was only with her for 1 year. But
I could be wrong.
I don't remember.
I could be wrong. He could be remembering correctly, but it's like I think he was with her for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, McBrayer was funny in the movie. The gigantic guy was good.
Fucking Paul Rudd.
Oh, Paul Rudd was fantastic.
It's just kind of that guy that seems perpetually baked.
Oh yeah, we've been doing that fucking line at least in the house where it's like, hey man, let's just sometimes when life gives you lemons, you say fuck it and go surfing. Let's go surfing if the weather outside is weather. Like we've been fucking doing that forever around here. But yeah, he was fantastic.
Kristen Bell's good.
She was really good. Yeah, there's no one that was bad in this movie.
No.
Mila Kunis was fantastic.
Yeah, I like Mila Kunis is good. I think they're like Jack McBrayer is maybe like the only like over the toppy one that I'm not as super into, but he's used enough.
Yeah.
Not too much, not well, maybe too little would have been fine.
Well, he's always Jack McBrayer.
Yeah.
And everything. I'd like to just see him take on a serious role once. No one would probably take him serious, just for the fact of the way he looks and like. But it's like every time you see Jack McBrayer, he talks like a grandpa giving you an old story. Like that just I don't know if that's his cadence when he talks, but like
Hmm.
whenever he goes on like late night shows, he still talks that way.
Yeah.
But he's lovable.
Hmm.
God knows I've liked him. I've liked him in everything I've seen him in. But it's like he plays himself in fucking everything.
And it's also the same joke continually, but they at least try to put a spin on it, whatever. But it's just like the overly religious guy who cannot get into the sex part of the relationship at all, and that's the same joke every single time.
Well, see,
It's not used too much.
I was wondering if it was like that whole thing where it's like if your character, if you are a person who likes men, and then you join the church and they force you to get into a marriage with a woman. It seemed like that's kind of the angle it was going for in the beginning.
Maybe, but I never got, I guess, latent homosexuality from him. More of just repressed sexuality.
Well, it's like he knew nothing,
Yeah,
nothing about the female body.
or maybe just asexual vibes or whatever, where someone might be romantic but they're not like into the sex part of it at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they were mostly going for the he's overly religious, and if you're taught your entire life that this is fucking sinful and awful, then when it finally comes time to it, like now you're married, that part is supposed to be turned off or whatever the fuck they think, but and it's still he's having trouble getting over it. Because near the end, like he's fucking making out with her, like once he gets to the Russell Brand training.
It's true. After the giant chess piece
Yeah. Yeah.
scene, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, I mean, I know that's the joke, but at the same time, it was just like he did not seem like he was into her at all.
No.
Like she was like all over, like kissing him. He's like, "Oh, my wife," like it's like, why'd you marry her then, dude? What's up? Um, but yeah, the I still have that fucking song in my head. It's getting kind of hard to believe things are going to get better. He's so good at that,
Yeah.
and like I don't know if it's true or not, but like I think he's actually playing the piano.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was a skilled pianist.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Oh, he plays the piano in How I Met Your Mother sometimes.
Oh,
When he would do the Slapsgiving songs and stuff like that.
It's been so long since I've seen that show, and I
Well,
watched it for my wife.
Yeah, I like that show. I think my favorite scene, it's like a small little bit. It's when he's playing the Muppet theme, and then he starts breaking down crying. He's
Yeah.
like playing it kind of sad, and then he's just like,
Let's get things started. But yeah, that part's good. But I also like the whole go see a therapist. I'm not going. Like that part was fantastic.
Yeah.
I was like, I'd pay to watch that. That was good shit.
it's like, Peter, you're depressed. I know, I'm trying.
Go see a therapist. I'm not going. Like that part makes me laugh every single fucking time. I also like the whole, oh, looks like this guy's having a dog day, and he does the Seinfeld fucking thing. Yeah, that shit was hilarious. He's like, Pete, can we just play the part and get the fuck out of here, man, please? But yeah, like the movie, to me, it has no slow points. It's like a continuous story. It's got good flow.
Yeah.
It's got enough crazy characters that like come in and come out to like keep it completely interesting.
I mean, it really feels like a 40-year-old virgin or a knocked up, like one of the other Apatow movies. So if you're not into those, you're probably not going to be into this one, where it's got a kind of crass sense of humor. But I think that shit's kind of funny.
Oh yeah, no,
Like their little sex off or whatever it is, where they're each having sex on either side of the wall, and two of them are having fun, and then she's like, "Well, I need to be fucking loud."
I gotta go over.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, so are you doing that for you, or are you doing that for him? And she's like, what are you talking about? But I also like, she's like, you're full of shit. This says watermelon, whatever the fuck those different tattoos
like
said.
this is an Indian thing. You're just borrowing different cultures.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you a child of the world. It makes you fucking conceited or whatever.
Yeah, and he's like, all right, well, I'm going to bed now.
And then I'm gonna leave in the morning.
Yeah, that shit was, I mean, the movie felt genuine, but like you said, it's tongue in cheek. It's an Apatow movie.
Yeah. And I kind of like the breakup aspect of it, where it's a man who's been broken up, trying to like piece himself back together, and then just finding love along the way.
yeah, it's walking backwards into it. But I also liked. He's like, yeah, just sometimes it's like it could just make you jump, and she's like, well, let's just go ahead and do it. And he jumps off the fucking. He's like, oh God, I made her kill herself.
Yeah.
And she's like, paint her jump, and I just like that. I can see your hoo-ha. I just, she's so adorable.
Yeah.
Even though she's going through some stuff right now. Yeah, I don't know. It's the whole Danny Masterson thing. There's the internet for some reasons doesn't like what's happening with that, but
Yeah, I don't fucking pay attention.
I don't either. It's I. If you have an opinion of it, put it down in the comments. But I try to stay out of things if it doesn't directly involve me, because problem with arguments is usually you're getting one side of the argument, not the whole thing.
I don't know the whole story, so I'm not gonna formulate an opinion on it because that's how you yell on Twitter.
Yeah, and this is not me making a defense or anything like that. I'm not condoning. It's what Masterson did is horrible.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck him. And hopefully he gets fucked a lot in jail. But I'm not condemning jail stuff either. It's just it's
Yeah, it's just
it's a fucked up world.
fuck that shit over. Like that shit can go.
Let's go back to the comedy movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just there's nothing that's not enjoyable about this movie. I personally love Judd Apatow movies. Bill Hader.
Yep.
Was fantastic in this.
So, same with the actress who played his wife for how little she was kind of in it.
I don't know who she is.
I don't know. I don't recognize her either. But I just like that little character or whatever.
Is Jen there? No, she is not there. Hi, Jen. Hi.
Yeah, she's got good timing that made it
closer
fun.
to the mic. All right, go further. All right, now closer.
It's like, oh, I noticed you're wearing a pearl necklace.
Were you wearing that when you got it here? Oh, I know what you're doing.
Liz Kakowski. I've never seen her in anything, I think.
I could have easily been paid by Kristen Wiig, but I think she would have eaten the scene with the lines that lady was given. But she was fantastic in that part.
Apparently, she was a story editor / writer for 12 episodes of Community.
Really?
No.
Wonder if she's one of the people that were getting hassled by Harmon.
But it looks like she's got a lot of writing credits, producing credits. Only 30 acting credits.
No, she was fantastic. She needs more work.
I'm sure you got her.
She got anything coming out recently? When's the
last thing was 2022, the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie that was on. Was it on Disney Plus?
Yes, and we're not going to review that. It was a good movie.
She did a voice, or several voices.
Who was she the voice of?
Cow teacher Tigra, Officer O'Hare, something or other.
Yeah.
It sounds like small parts. And then a bunch of stuff I don't recognize, save for Garfunkel and Oates, of which I only know the band. I never watched their show.
Makuchi?
No, she was in I Love You Man as well. I think that's another Apatow movie.
Yes, it is.
With Paul Rudd, another movie I enjoy.
Paul Rudd and Jason Segel.
Yep. And Rashida Jones.
It is Judd Apatow, right? Did I get that right?
Written by John Hamburg, director John Hamburg. So maybe not.
Huh. I know it's produced because it's got Apatow's wife in it.
Is that Sally? I guess I don't remember full cast and crew. Will they give me producer? Nope.
It's got to be.
Nope. Ivan Reitman.
Oh wow,
that's a name I know. But yeah, I would have if someone gunned to my head. Who the fuck directed I Love You Man? I don't fucking know. Apatow.
Yeah, no, I would have said the same thing.
But that's another movie I enjoy. But I like Jason Segel.
Me too.
And in this one, he's kind of that lovable dipshit.
I want to watch the Muppet movie he did. I haven't watched it yet.
I like that one. The second one, not so much. Which I guess was kind of funny when the fact that he's doing that Muppet thing and he's got the little puppet thing in this, and he ends up reinvigorating the Muppet franchise or whatever.
Apparently, he really loves puppets.
He fucking loves the Muppets.
I love Lamb Chop. I fucking love puppets.
It's something I think I've only seen each of the Muppet movies once, but something I enjoyed in it is that he's playing one of the characters and his brother is a Muppet, and they don't realize that one of them is adopted.
Okay, interesting. Okay, I might have to watch. Hey Nick, I haven't seen the movie. You're probably never going to ask me to watch that.
Maybe not. But it's we could potentially do an old school and new school or something with it.
Okay.
I don't know, but I like Jason Segel. So when he put his spin on his old Muppet movies, right?
There is, but is the one he's in like a remake of an old Muppet movie?
It's just a reboot. It's just picking it up and going over, and I think it's not even rebooting it per se. It's just a long period of time has occurred, and it's kind of like we need to get the Muppets back together because they used to love the Muppets. So I guess it's more of like they exist in a alternate of our universe in which there used to be a Muppet show, and Muppets are just actors. They're not people being like controlled.
There was a point in time, I think it was around when that movie came out, where it's like there's another movie called The Happy Time Murders or something like that, where it's basically puppets and humans.
With
Melissa McCarthy
yeah.
or something like that.
I've never seen that one.
I've never seen it either, but like when I saw the trailer for it, I was like, this is a movie that I could watch. And then I remember it came out in theaters and people were like, dude, this is bad. And it's never been a high priority for me to find it at that point.
The same, like again, which I wonder if similar to like Uncharted or something, is it people said it was bad and it's not that bad, or is it people are said it bad and it just is bad?
It's just so. This is something that we're going to have to review at some point, and this is the only thing that I can attribute it to. I try not to let the internet influence me. However, there are some critics that I agree with that kind of have the same point of view as me.
You've watched enough of their reviews that when they say you've watched like he watched this movie, I watched this movie, he liked it, I liked it, and then he watched this movie and he didn't like it, I watched that movie and I didn't like it. So your views kind of
so you can kind of turn to them to kind of give you a weather vane kind of what direction they're going in and what to expect. However, I try not to watch any of that shit now. I try to go into stuff as cold as I can just so I can get an honest feel for how I feel about it and not be influenced by the internet or anything like that. But sometimes I will go on, I hate to say it, Rotten Tomatoes, and I'll just look at what the audience gives it.
Yeah, I could give two shits what. Because I don't know, Rotten Tomatoes seems like the worst of them.
It is, but it's like sometimes the audience scores are kind of close to what I think that I would give it. But they've been way off since we've been doing this fucking series. Like I've actually been finding it's like some stuff they hate I fucking love, and some stuff they love I hate. So, but yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, fucking get on it. It's a good one. It's a really good one.
Again, I think if you know Judd Apatow and you fucking hate Judd Apatow, I don't think this is going to change your mind.
That's true.
But if you've watched, I don't like anything of his that you're kind of like partially in, I think you're fine. And also, I mean, if you like Siegel, if you like Kristen Bell because she's fun in this movie,
it's like how could you hate the 40-Year-Old Virgin? That's a funny fucking movie.
That's not some people's humor, I guess. It is my humor, but it's not some people's.
And now I'm starting to wonder if that might be a Judd Apatow movie. It's like, has he directed anything, or do I just think everything's Judd Apatow at this point?
I thought it was him. I wonder if he was produced. I think he directed that one.
I think he did too, but like I thought that about this movie and a couple of others too. So who knows?
So if you were to guess what IMDb gives this movie out of 300K
wow
reviews, so it's pretty settled. What do you think IMDb folks give Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
8.4.
7.1.
See, I can't get it right.
What about the critics on Rotten Tomatoes? There's 186 reviews, so it's a few, but not like a fuck ton.
68.
83. It's like I'm surprised by that one.
I'm really surprised by that one too.
For kind of a raunchy comedy.
Yeah.
That goes full dingus. I guess maybe in the theatrical trailer they don't go full dingus.
But they probably clip it up. It's like, how could you miss it? Like when he's shaking it around, like the screen.
Yeah. I think in the regular version you probably have the slappy sounds, but I don't think you go full dong in the theater. I don't know, but I don't know. I've not seen it.
You can't crop it out. Like when he's slinging it around, it's like 98% dick and then 3% Siegel.
There's a shot from him from behind where you just hear it.
Thing's so big, how can you miss?
From his back. All right. What about the audience?
87.
76. Okay. So on Rotten Tomatoes, the critics have given it a higher score. But I guess there are more critics who've rated it fresh than there are people who rate it. Because I think on the audience score, and they're actually doing it from like 1 to 100. Whereas all it checks for the critics is did the critic think it was a good movie or not? Mm-hmm. And then if it was a good movie, they give it a tick of good movie. Because it's not like a critic rated this movie 87, 83%. They rated it a yeah, or a yeah. Mm. So 83% of the critics gave it a yes. It's good enough.
No.
Which is why I think Rotten Tomatoes is not a good estimate, because people read that percentage or whatever. Like all the critics, it's got a 70 with the critics. That means people rated it 70%. That means 70% of the people who watched it liked it.
Not a bad metric, but
which is
not reliable.
Yeah, it's like that 9 out of 10 doctors want you to, do this thing. I was like, what the fuck's wrong with that other doctor?
He didn't get paid enough.
Why is that one doctor not it? Why are we only at 90% with the doctors?
I think they actually asked 40 doctors, and then they just hone it in on 10. And they're like, it's not going to be believable. We can't say 10 out of 10 because there's going to be one person like, this toothpaste tastes like shit.
Yeah. That's 9 out of 10 dentists recommend this toothpaste. The other one recommends fucking slamming your teeth in the door. and then coming in and getting crowns or whatever.
Yeah, the other dentist wants you to put your teeth on a curb so you can get stomped.
Because he wants you to buy implants. Yeah. He's the fucking greedy one with like a fucking Rolex and like
toothpaste.
And shit.
Fuck that shit. I make money off cavities. Honestly, I believe that's the game. Anyways, yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, you need to get on it.
It's good.
And if you can find the unrated version, it's a treat for you too.
Yeah. I think it's good.
Bill Hader is so funny in this movie.
Oh yeah,
Sarah's better than your wife. We doing this? You're gonna fucking do it? You're my brother-in-law, but I will equalize you. That shit was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Thanks for picking this one. I get to pick the one next year.
Well, I picked it so much as I read down the list, and we both said yes.
Well, the funny part is you were like, this movie, this movie, this movie, and you're like, forgetting Sarah Marshall, and we were both like, fuck yes, like immediately.
Which we are upcoming for the end of the year, or end of the month rather. We've got another holiday movie that we picked in a similar manner, where we were reading through a list, and we went, that one, that sounds great.
What holiday is it?
February is a leap month.
Oh, that's right.
So we're going to have an extra day in February, so we'll do something special for that. So I guess keep tuned.
I can't remember what we picked.
It's good, because I don't want to spoil it.
Ah, fuck. I tried giving you the inside scoop. But anyways.
Should I put a ball on this one?
Yeah. Is there something we missed? Is there something more that we needed to talk about? Is there something that you were like, man, fuck, it would have been great if they would have talked about Mila Kunis's boobs in this movie, but they were not her boobs. Yeah. She said in an interview. So
superimpose or Photoshop or whatever. Mm-hmm.
Someone else's boobs. Whoever it was, my head off to you, them. But yeah, thanks for watching. Mm-hmm. We hope to see you in the next video, and the next one, and the next one after that. If you'd like, comment, subscribe. I'm not the boss of you. Do what you want.
So Valentine's Day. Would you call this a Valentine's Day movie?
Mm-hmm. No, or yeah,
we're giving it a guess.
Are we phoning it in at this point? Let us know. It counts. It counts.
Very romantic.
Loss of love. Mm-hmm. Love triumphant. Love falls apart. Love back together. So it's
blooms once again.
Yeah, I definitely say it fits the criteria.
All right. Well, let's put a bow on this one.
I mean, by that criteria, currently, we could basically say Friday the 13th is a Valentine's movie because Jason loves his mother and basically just wants to kill people. But
there's no love triumphant in that one. It's all murders.
He loves killing.
I'm not even sure if he does. He's not doing it out of the joy for it. I think he's just doing it out of.
If you take somebody into a sleeping bag and then slam the sleeping bag up against you gotta love what you do.
I think that's compulsion.
That's like whistling and skipping into work kind of attitude right there. I mean, just saying. All right, bye.
Bye.